these emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach, and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile and he was a creep. And this email you refer to with the name of a victim that was unredacted now and has since been reported on in this room, so I will go ahead and say it, Virginia Giuffre. And it was CBS's own reporting, Ouija, that recently wrote that Miss Giuffre maintained, and God rest her soul, that she maintained that there was nothing inappropriate she ever witnessed, that President Trump was always extremely professional and friendly to her. And so I think it's a question worth asking the Democrat Party, and you should all go ask them after this briefing, of why they chose to redact that name of a victim who has already publicly made statements about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and is unfortunately no longer with us.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. Are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
That was President Donald Trump in July this year, offering a very different opinion of Jeffrey Epstein than he once shared publicly. In 2002, long before he became president, Trump told New York Magazine he'd known Jeffrey Epstein for 15 years and called him a terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side, Trump told the magazine. Over the years, the two have been spotted many times in public together. This NBC video shows Trump and Epstein socializing in 1992 at a party at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The video, released in 2019, shows Trump appearing to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there, she's hot," while Epstein smiles and nods. Former swimsuit model Stacey Williams, who dated Epstein in 1993, told CNN in an interview Trump was Epstein's wingman.
They were best friends. They were very close.
The two men flew together as well. These flight logs show Trump traveled on Epstein's jet 4 times in 1993, twice in 1994, and once in 1995 and in 1997. The logs were made public during Ghislaine Maxwell's 2021 trial, where she was convicted of sex trafficking, among other things. Epstein also attended Trump's wedding to Marla Maples at New York's Plaza Hotel in 1993. In 1997, Trump added this personal note to Epstein inside a copy of his book, The Art of the Comeback. It reads, "To Jeff, you are the greatest," according to the New York Times. That same year, the two men were photographed together at Mar-a-Lago. This exclusive CNN video shows Epstein and Trump chatting in 1999 before a Victoria's Secret fashion show. Despite all of that, during a court deposition here in Palm Beach in 2010, Epstein refused to answer many questions about his association with Trump. And Trump has continued to try and distance himself from Epstein as recently as July. This was the story he told about kicking Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago.
He took people that worked for me, and I told him don't do it anymore, and he did it. I said, stay the hell out of here.
More recently, Trump had to answer about a letter bearing his name found in a birthday book created by Ghislaine Maxwell for Epstein's 50th birthday. The letter, according to the Wall Street Journal, contained the outline of a naked woman and a message, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." Trump denied authoring the letter and sued the Journal for defamation.
It's not my signature, and it's not the way I speak. And anybody that's covered me for a long time knows that's not my language.
Randy Kay, CNN, Palm Beach County, Florida.
When are you going to swear in Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva of Arizona, who was elected way back in September?
Yeah, just as I promised, as soon as we get back to legislative session. So, I mean, before we have this vote that we're talking about, she'll be administered the oath. That's
After
what we
the
always
House
say.
gavel's in, but before the vote.
Right, yeah, sure, as soon as we get started, yeah.
And then she has said that she is going to be the 218th vote to force the discharge petition to release the Epstein files, et cether, et cetera.
She has the right. I mean, that's immaterial to us. It's now a moot point, by the way. The Oversight Committee has been delving in deeply to the Epstein investigation, and they've released 43,000 pages of the Epstein files, more to come. Subpoenas are being complied with. By the way, the latest batch was the Epstein estate files that is not even considered in the discharge petition, was never mentioned. But that was a treasure trove of information, and they released his personal logs, his flight logs, his financial records, and even his daily calendar. So there's plenty of oversight. All of that information is going to be released to the public. The only thing they're redacting, Jake, is the names of the innocent victims,
Sure.
and we insisted upon that, and everybody of common sense understands why that is.
Of course, the survivors. Speaker Rick Johnson, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. I hope the government opens.
Yes, me too. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Former relationship with Jeffrey Epstein
all been explained. I think this is a massive distraction by the Democrats while we're trying to get the government reopened and covered for their mistakes. And I find it interesting that the press corps didn't ask all these questions for 4 years during the Biden administration.
But the president is the one who wanted all these documents out. Why not release all these documents now?
He's for maximum transparency. He said it as recently as a couple of days ago, and I talked to him about it today. He's for everything coming out. Always has been.
Provision that you just said that you're going to have a suspension vote to repeal next week. Did you know that provision was?
No, I found out about it last night. I was surprised. I was shocked by it, and I was angry about it. To be honest.
Did you talk to Booth about it?
I talked to him about it today.
About 20,000 pages of documents from the estate of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein were released by the House Oversight Committee this week. Ahead of that fuller release, Democrats on the committee made public several emails from Epstein that mentioned Donald Trump by name in various circumstances. The emails that began almost 15 years ago were obtained by the GOP-led panel after it subpoenaed Epstein's estate earlier this year. The first group of records from the estate were released by the committee in September. Trump has referred to the saga as the Jeffrey Epstein hoax and has consistently denied any wrongdoing.
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile and he was a creep.
In a 2019 email exchange to author Michael Wolff, Epstein appeared to reference that incident, writing, quote, "Trump said he asked me to resign, never remember ever. Of course he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop." The focus on documents related to Epstein is not going away anytime soon. In a separate effort, a bipartisan pair of lawmakers is calling on the Justice Department to release all case files related to this. They now have the signatures needed to force a vote in the House. That is expected to take place next week. At the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Jeffrey Epstein's criminal investigation is 20 years old. Starting in 2005, Palm Beach police began investigating Epstein after the family of a 14-year-old girl reports he molested her at his mansion. In 2006, the FBI opens Operation Leap Year, where Epstein is indicted on one count of soliciting prostitution. Jump to June 2008. The financier is sentenced to 18 months in jail for 2 charges of solicitation of prostitution. The following July, Epstein is released from jail, and then in 2019, he was arrested for federal sex trafficking charges. A month later, he is found dead in his jail cell while awaiting trial. His death ruled a suicide. Fast forward to 2024, a judge unseals court documents related to a civil lawsuit against Epstein. With Congress back in session and voting today, Arizona Representative Adelita Grijalva was finally sworn in after weeks of waiting, immediately after she became the decisive 218th member to vote in support of releasing all of the Epstein case files. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joins us. And Jeff, Grijalva's signature, of course, we've been talking about how crucial it is in order to pass that discharge petition, forcing that vote to then release the Epstein files. Break down the details.
So for weeks, there's been a large bipartisan push to bypass GOP leaders and force the release of the DOJ's files on the late sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Grijalva's signature kicks those efforts into high gear, now setting up a battle on the House floor. Immediately after being sworn into Congress Wednesday, Grijalva casting the decisive signature on a discharge petition to force a vote on releasing the DOJ's Epstein files.
That's what the American people expect us to do. Fight for them. That is why I will sign the discharge petition right now to release the Epstein files.
The petition was introduced this fall by Representatives Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna months after they filed a bipartisan bill called the Epstein Files Transparency Act, both speaking out Wednesday expressing optimism.
Well, I've already had a couple Republicans tell my office privately that they're going to vote for it.
I think we could get 40 to 50 Republicans once it's on the floor of the House, because people are not going to want to vote against the release of the Epstein files.
Grijalva's signature comes just hours after Democrats on the House Oversight Committee released a set of emails sent by Epstein to his associate Ghislaine Maxwell and a journalist. In one, Epstein writing President Trump, quote, knew about the girls. In another, I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. The White House slamming the emails while Democrats say they're concerning.
It is not a coincidence that the Democrats leaked these emails to the fake news this morning ahead of Republicans reopening the government. This is another distraction campaign.
They raised more questions about what the relationship was between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein and what Donald Trump actually knew.
Meanwhile, House Speaker Mike Johnson announcing late Wednesday night the House will vote on whether or not to release the Epstein files in the coming days.
We're going to put that on the floor for a full vote next week as soon as we get back.
Now, all House Democrats, along with 4 Republicans, signed the discharge petition. Aside from Massey, they include Representatives Nancy Mace, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and also Lauren Boebert. Reporting for the National News Desk, I'm Jeff Harris.
Thank you. It was just an incredible moment for us to see her sworn in and to see her sign the discharge petition. It's something we've been waiting for 50 days, and it was really wonderful to just see it in person. Well, first of all, I really just want to thank them for being steadfast in their support of us. You know, it takes a lot of courage for them to break with party lines and to support us. And they're doing that because they know that they're on the right side when they are in support of us. And I think that I'm hopeful that their courage is contagious to other Republican members who can also see that this is really a matter of looking at a crime, and it really should not be in any way influenced by any particular administration. This case has been ongoing throughout 5 administrations of both political parties, and like I said before, what we're looking at is a crime, and it is a crime of sex trafficking. This is not a political issue. So they're right in their support of us. Thanks, Jake. These things happen because we don't talk about them, and I appreciate having the platform to do that. It's been an extraordinarily emotional day. Thank you for asking, Jake. But it's also been a really important day. So I think that, you know, anything that we see that's released brings us closer to the truth, right? And I think that in releasing these emails this morning, it really is just driving the point home of how badly we need this information released. We need the government to release everything that's in these files, of course with the appropriate redactions to protect the privacy of the survivors, but we really need this information to be out there so these crimes can be investigated. I think it's really upsetting to us that this is so politicized when it's not a political issue. This was a crime, and it's a crime of sex trafficking, and we really just want to see justice for the crime that happened to us. There has definitely been a renewed sense of hope and a definite sense of joy among all of us. Both myself and Jess Michaels were privileged enough to be on the House floor during the swearing in, and there was a moment where Grijalva actually called us out by name, and everyone stood and applauded us. And, you know, she didn't have to do that, but we really just appreciated the support